open up with one question for y'all. I can say that. I was actually just telling Chris and the team the other day, ever since I started working with them, I started saying y'all all the freaking time. I'm like a Texas girl now. So stick with me for a second. Do you remember the first time you felt rich? Now this could be maybe in your past, maybe when there was make-believe riches. Maybe it was when you're an adult and maybe you're still like, Laura, like I'm not really sure. But think back to when you were younger. I remember my first time. My first time feeling rich. Okay. Okay. My first time feeling rich. And I wish my mom was here. You're gonna meet her in Florida. But my mom is obsessed with gold mining, pioneer town, ghost towns. We would go to Vegas more times than I could count when I was younger. My mom, she loves to gamble, bless her heart. But we would stop at all these ghost towns and I don't know. It's a huge part of my childhood actually being in this type of energy. And I remember it was like that, are we there yet? Are we there yet, Mom? Moment. And me and my brother are like, are we there yet? And she just looks at us, turns us in the back seat and says, you wanna find gold? And I go, yeah, let's go get gold. And so we go to this mine with this miner. It's like a fake miner, real miner. But when I was 6, I didn't really care. I was just like, we're finding gold. I'm gonna set my family up for life. This is legit. So I put my little headphones. I was listening to Disney princess songs or something like that. And so we walk up and there's this fake miner with his prospector hat. And he's like, okay, come with me. And so me and my brother, we have our little pans and we're going down to the river like, woo, this is great. And so we stick these pans in the dirt, the gravel, whatever it is. And it was a river bend. And if you know gold mining, like I do when I was younger, just kidding. Around the bend is where they collect the most gold. And so we would dig it and then the sediments and they're like, okay, go to and fro, swish, swish, swish. And then what felt like 3 hours in kid time, which is probably 5 in real time. And then before you know it, I could start seeing these speckles of gold starting to show up. And I just keep seeing them come up and up. I'm like looking at my brother's pan. I'm like, what has he got over there? I was like, oh, I got more gold. It's awesome. And so I keep going, and I could see it sprinkling up. And I could feel this bubble of wealth just growing inside of me. And before you know it, I couldn't hold it in any longer, and I just shrieked, Eureka! I'm like, I'm rich, Mom, come on down. She like runs down from the mine, and she's like, Mom, look, gold, I'm rich. What can I get? What can I buy? And she hovers over me with loving eyes, loving, honest eyes, and she says, Laura, anything you want. She said, anything you want. And as a 6-year-old, it just kind of hits you. And it gets to this point where it just feels so real. And little did I know that that moment of anything you want would be something that I reflect on in the years to come. Because it resembled a lot more than anything you want, anything we want. It resembled a world of excitement, a world of belief, a world of possibility. Because little did I know that that moment was actually an anchor for me to just freaking go after it. It could be gold mining, it could be entrepreneurship, it could be all these things. But of course, well, but just show of hands, who, when they were younger, dreamed of finding gold or buried treasure? Show of hands. A lot of hands should go up. And if it wasn't gold and if it wasn't treasure, it was probably something else. But as you know, we all grow up as kids do, and the question of where can I find buried treasure, where can I find gold, it turns into how can we make more money, honey? How can we make more money? How can we support the lifestyle that we desire? And how can we make money to the point where we don't have to worry about it ever again? A lot of us, we've gone through hardships, okay? And sometimes it's not easy. Sometimes it doesn't feel easy for us. I've had my own setbacks. I know what it's like. I ran my own business for 7 years. I know what it's like to be in the pits. I know what it's like when you want to hit the easy button. I know what it's like when you just kind of want to like let it go. And that's when we humble ourselves and think, how far does life really get us when we hit the easy button? I'll tell you, I have hit the easy button. And those are actually, I learned a lot from those, you know, like I don't stress myself out when I have hardships like that, because I believe that every time this happens, there's a lesson. But like, why hit the easy button when you know that there's a better way out? And that's why you guys are here plugged into the elite 7-figure community, is because the easy button gets you so far until it doesn't. Until it doesn't. So how, when we ever feel like we want to put our foot on the gas or put foot on the brakes, how can we tap back into the go? Like, let's freaking go. So remember these 3 questions. And these 3 questions are going to humble you to get back into go mode, and with intention. First one is, how much gold, how much MRR do you want? Let's say for this year. Give yourself that number. But the most important one I'll probably ask is this one. How bad do you really want it? How bad do you really want it? And when I'm asking this, I encourage you to go deeper, because we know that money is an extrinsic value. Extrinsic value means that we like it because based on what it can bring us. Like, what's the deeper meaning? Why do you want it? What's the intrinsic value? What does that give you internally? Freedom? Is it time? More time with family? Is it security? I want to buy my mom a house in the next 5 years, like a nice one. A nice one in California so she can come back from Florida every once in a while. They sold their house in LA, now they're retiring in Florida, but I miss her. And that drives me. That has driven me throughout my entrepreneurship years. And it's going to happen. It is going to happen. In my mind, it is going to happen. That's what I'm talking about. So what's going to excite us more? Is it the fact, how bad do we really want the money, or how bad do we really want to support the people we love? And that's what we get behind. And that's what you tap into every time you feel the need to hit that easy button. And that's going to activate your go button. Next one. Knowing this, what's the plan to hit your next mother lode? And I'm telling you, it doesn't come by just standing along the river. That's the easy button, just standing along the river, watching all the other miners do their thing. It comes from you taking your hands, your shovel, whatever it is, and getting your hands in the dirt, like actually doing it. Because gold, MRR, money, getting anything you want comes to the committed. So how committed are you today If you could give, this is a good for mentee. This is good for the mentee pool, so we'll do this next time. But on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being like, I know I could do a lot better. I know I could be putting in more of the effort and the execution. 10 being like, I am so committed, it's insane. Where would you give yourself on that rating right now? You could keep it to yourself. We're gonna be doing another activity where you're gonna be a bit more vocal and moving around. Of course, Laura's gonna make you move around. Gold shows up to the committed. Allow yourselves to get your hands in the dirt. So where are my committed people at? Show of hands, where are my committed people at? And everyone's hand should be going, and we are going to activate the hell out of our voice and activate the hell out of this reality. I'm gonna count down, 3, 2, 1, and we are all going to collectively scream Eureka, and I want you to freaking bring it. Can you do that? Yeah. Absolutely, okay, so ready, 3, 2, 1, Eureka! We'll just do it one more time. I love that. Let's turn it up a notch. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1, Eureka! And that's the committed. I heard all of you here. Okay, we're gonna go on an adventure. Who wants to go on an adventure? Yes. So where can we find this gold? We're gonna go through 3 gold zones. We're gonna pretend like we are those people going up to the mines. We heard there's a lot of gold in California. I'm a Cali girl, by the way, could you tell? And then we go, okay, so first stop, we gotta go to gold zone 1, the tool shed. How are we going to find this gold? What kind of tools do they use? Just shout it out and I'll. Picks, shovels, pans, there's TNT, yes. So what's our poison? We gotta use the tools that strike gold. When it comes to the business world, what do you think that #1 tool is? TNT. 100%. He said TNT. And I would equate that to your voice. What makes noise? Your voice is your most valuable tool. Okay? Are we using it enough? How are we using it? How are we pitching ourselves? How are we speaking to ourselves? So when I'm talking about public speaking, I'm also talking about how you speak internally in your head. My stage masters will tell you a lot here. What we do is not just how you pitch yourself, it's how you pitch to yourself, how you speak to yourself, and how you carry out into the world, how you sell, how you market based on that. Because the truth is, in the business world, in any world, the bigger your belief and the bolder your willingness to raise your hand, to stand on stage, and the louder your voice, internally and externally, those are the ones who make bank. Period. Think about all the leaders. They're the ones speaking up. Not just speaking up out loud, that's a lot of it, but it's how you speak to yourself internally. Because I'm telling you, leaders, they will get backlash. Okay? They do. They get backlash. And I'm telling you, when you get backlash, that means you're doing something right. Drop people pleasing. I like to say, especially if you're in the sales presentation or marketing, when you're in your head 80% of the time, we need to change something because you're not being present. You're not being present with the prospect. So speaking is just more than that. It's also about the internal game here. And it's no coincidence, especially in my life and the people the thousands of people I've helped through this kind of work, that they have seen an increase in themselves and how they feel about themselves and their bank account. So where do we search for this gold? We got our tools. Did you guys choose it? What did you get? Not just your voice, but would you want an axe? Would you want a pan, TNT? We already know Vince is gonna have TNT. Which one would you choose? Just yell it out loud. Axe. Someone wants an axe. Shovel, okay. In the business world, just know that that is the voice. All right, so let's try Gold Zone 2. What's happening? What's happening in Gold Zone 2? Where are we going? We start looking around the land, and and we start noticing that there's other miners that seem to congregate in certain areas. So logically, what do you think is going on over there when you see a ton of miners over there? What do you think? What do you think's happening? Just yell it out loud. It's where the gold's at. It's where the gold's at, okay? So of course, we're logically going to want to go over there. In the business world, this is other people's stages. Go where the gold is. What are you doing to get on other people's stages? Not just anyone's stages, but the stages where the people you want to work with are. And I've spoke to a lot of members and a lot of people, and they're getting in front of people, and I want to say, first off, that's great. You're getting your reps in. I will never shame someone, and I've been mindful of this in my marketing, especially with Stage Mastery. I will never shame someone for getting up on stage. I will not, because that is courageous AF, and that is huge. There's also a better way, and that's when I say, okay, yay, you graduated there. Now we're gonna graduate here. Let's get you in front of people that are ready to pay you. It's a different energy. And so that's why when you guys are going out there doing your AI briefings, cybersecurity briefings, all that stuff, I'm highly encouraging you to please, please record it. Record it because I want my eyes on it. I want the team's eyes on it. I want to see what you guys are doing. I want to see how you're pitching, because if something's not converting, something has to change. Do you agree? If something's not converting, something has to change. And I don't know until I can see it and we can talk, but something has to change. But the point being is the fact you're already getting up there, give yourself a round of applause, because the foundations are already being set. Ken wants to give a round, let's give a round of applause for the people that are getting up, people that are raising their hand, or even the people that are feeling like they're on the edge, of about to get on a stage or to speak. Thank you, Ken. I appreciated that. Okay, so how are we getting on other people's stages? What's the best way to go about this? I'm not gonna hit on this too much today because my last keynote in Louisville really went in depth, and also I could talk about this till the cows come home. But really, I want you to self-audit. What are some ways you wanna get on stage, other people's stage, the remaining quarter, the remaining of this quarter, and are we in Q? Yeah, we're in Q3. Yeah, for Q3. We want to go where the gold is. I was talking to Derek last night, actually, a very good conversation, and it's starting to act it, and I work with Melanie intimately now in Stage Mastery, but it's becoming clear as day that we got a niche down. It really is. It's becoming clear as day to me that we got a niche down. It's very similar when it comes to public speaking. Where are your niches hanging out? Specific conferences? People that work with law firms, the bar associations are cracking. Tall, one of our members, he was networking with the bar association in Toronto. I think that's where he is. And he got like 7 FTAs or something just by one presentation, and go where they are. That's where the action is, okay? So think about it. You could borrow audiences from podcasts, industry, not just MSP AI podcasts. I like to say about 20%, maybe 20, 30% can be MSP AI related, because that builds your industry authority. That 70, 80% should also be going towards your niche's influencers and authority, okay? Because that's where they hang out. Let's celebrate Melanie Padron. So in the last 10 weeks, she has been crushing, my girl. But recently, she was on a Sirius XM radio, and one of the trucking, niche. We all know her as the trucking woman, but there's 1.3 million listeners on that. Think about that, 1.3 million. No coincidence that the MRR follows just in the last 10 weeks. 14,500 of new MRR. And she's about to give a keynote at one of her niche's largest conference with over 1,500 attendees. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That's the power of the niche, which Melanie is going to be talking about later this afternoon, around 11, so don't miss that, okay? This is gonna go very nice in tandem with what we're talking about today. I also want to celebrate Randy Martinez. I was just talking to him, and these numbers, I lowballed the heck out of this, by the way. So Randy, he is like the newsman. He has just been hitting the ground running. He's got not just 2, but 3 news features coming out very soon. I think it's in Reno, Bakersfield, and Vegas. So the whole 50K viewers for each appearance is actually like triple, probably, for each of those. Think about that. He's getting on news. I'm actually talking to our stage masters, you remember this. I'm like, hey, we have cybersecurity October. Let's hit the news stations, all of us. And so that's something I want to focus on, that we're going to be focusing on. So think about, you guys can get on news stations in your local area. I mean, Randy, he's hitting it across Nevada and California because he serves clients in both those states. He specializes in those states. So not just local anymore for him, he's going around. And I have 3,500 new MRR closed in the last 10 weeks, but it's actually 11,000 new MRR. So let's, round of applause for Randy, okay? Power of getting on other people's stages and using your voice. Now, when it comes to Gold Zone 2, there's 2 things that can happen. When you're pitching yourself on other people's stages, other people's podcasts, there's technically 3, but let's talk about the 2 options. You're either gonna get, yeah, sure, we got a spot for you. When would you like to come in? When would you like to do the podcast? When would you like to speak? Or maybe you're pitching for a specific conference. And so we like this. Who likes it? Yes. I like it, yes. So that's best case scenario. And that has to do with how you carry yourself, how you talk to yourself, how you pitch yourself, who you know, are you getting in the right rooms? Maybe what rooms feel like a stretch for me that I want to get into? Best case scenario, we can work on that. Then there's outcome 2. Oh, there's a wait list. Oh, not right now. When you pitch yourself, have you ever gone, not right now, or we're kind of booked? Raise your show of hands if you've gotten that before. Okay? And that happens too. There's a reason why there's a wait list, okay? It's because it's a very popular stage to be on. And that doesn't mean we give up. Sometimes it means we're just perseverant and we check back in. Or sometimes they'll say, sure, but you won't be able to get on until 3 months. And that's fine. If it's worth it, we stay. But I'll tell you, the good miners, they don't just sit around and wait, right? So what can we do in the meantime? The good miners that are ready for the MRR, that are like, okay, we got that going on, we're gonna check back in, we've got a couple things on the docket. What can we do in the meantime? Where else can I go? Where else can I mine for gold? Because I'm not just gonna sit on my laurels. My why is way too powerful for that. Where can I find or even mine my old gold mine? How willing am I to go there? How willing am I to go where the other miners aren't? Just think about where you are today and how you've gotten to where you are today. There are so many moments that people don't see. And that's where the winners are formed. You may see someone standing up here, this confident thing, right? That's just commands the presence, but what you have not seen are the days I have shamed myself. You have not seen the hundreds of rooms I've been in, the hundreds of webinars, sometimes with empty rooms, that I have showed up in order to get here. The amount of times I've pitched myself and have yes gotten no's, but have not taken those no's. In the beginning, I took no's as rejection, but as how can I become better? How can I improve and still going anyways? Because life, our business, our money changes the minute we stop waiting for permission. Waiting for permission to go that next step in business, to pitch yourself to that bigger client, to get on bigger stages. Or to have the courage when something's not working, rather than feel temptation to hit the pause button, hit the stop button, to have the courage and the willingness to raise your hand and say, I don't need to wait for permission. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna lean into support. Because I'll tell you, asking for help is not, oh my gosh, if there's one thing that's been really hard for me in my life, it's asking for help. Because I never like to show weakness. I didn't like to show weakness. But when it comes to speaking and money, that is the best time to be like, hey, I could really use a helping hand right now. That's why you are in Figure MSP, because we're a community. You don't need to wait for permission, you just gotta be willing. You don't need to wait for permission, you just gotta be willing. And with the willingness comes the execution. And the execution that gets you the gold mine. That's when you hit your gold mine. So let's get into action. Let's turn it back to you. Okay, what stages can you build now? What stages do you want to focus on building, or what stage do you want to focus on building in Q3? That can set you up for success beyond. We got people that are starting podcasts. We got people that are starting YouTube. We got people that are hitting news stations. We got people that are doing their weekly conversion event, like their weekly thing where they're showing up and they're doing their briefings. What stages can you build now? Have you thought about hosting your own in-person event? I'll tell you, a really fun one is networking events. Like, that one is so fun to me, because if you're hosting it and you have your company that's hosting it, and you position it as, hey, we're just gathering a bunch of A players in the community, and even if you could personally invite them, maybe you could do more of like executive roundtables. We have a stage master that is in San Jose, and he's got just like, his networking opportunities are insane. So we have this whole thing mapped out where he's gonna start going for AI startups, and that's just like a gold mine for him. So we're talking about, hey, maybe we invite some high-level execs and some startup people, and you get a roundtable together. So now we're talking about doing that. I mean, that's a way to build your own stage. So think of one right now that you could focus on. Okay? That's a way to build your stage. Andres Torres, I want to give a shout out to him because tomorrow he's actually getting a proclamation from the city of Reno. And he's been throwing community events that have up to sometimes 7,000 attendees that come. And he's gonna be here speaking on Thursday, but they're actually airing it on local TV and local news station, and they're giving him an award, and they're actually calling tomorrow, July 30th, Andres Torres Day. Who has it? Yeah, let's round of applause. Like, that's insane. Imagine your city having a freaking day named after you. And I say, why not? I say, why the heck not? And that's what he's doing. And he comes into the stage mastery calls, and he'll be like, people are literally coming up to me and calling me the cyber guy, or, oh, you're the AI guy. Oh, you're the cyber guy. And I'm telling you, Andres didn't do that by not using his voice. He used it by using it, speaking his passion, because he has a passion for cultural diversity and acceptance, and he's using that and still tying it into his business, because his business hosts these events. He plugs in what he does, just very organically that way. Something to think about, okay? Now, some of you might say this takes time. Building your own stage takes time. And it does. It does. And I know some of us are pressed on time. I understand that. We're running a business, we have life. Understand the payout. And anytime you feel pressed for time, or you want to use time as a, I don't even want to call it a cop-out, because time is a thing, but just loving nudge. Remember, how bad do you really want it? And you're going to remember my voice saying, you want it because there's a deeper why behind it. Tap into that and hit the go button again. Take a moment if you need to. But if you need to take a moment, do not crash out, okay? Say, I'm gonna feel this way for 12, 24 hours. I'm gonna let myself feel, and then I'm gonna keep going. It's healthy to feel, by the way. I don't believe in suppression. I don't believe in suppressing emotions. I think it is actually, especially entrepreneurs and high achievers like ourselves, we need to feel. So feel it, and then know that you're learning something and you're getting stronger, and then go. And I promise you're gonna hit the acceleration 10 times. This is like lived proof. I've been practicing this for the last 10 years, okay? So we're gonna put that to the test right now. How bad do you really want it? And we're gonna be doing a fun MSP Gold Rush challenge, okay? So I want everyone to stand up. Let's stand on up. It is in the morning. I want you to kind of shake it out a little bit. Shake, 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 shake. Shake your body, shake your body. Let me explain to you, stay standing. Let me explain to you how this is going to go. We're going to adventure like we've been doing in the 3 zones, okay? The tool shed, other people's stages or gold mines, and building our own, okay? And there's gonna be 3 statements, and you guys are either going to, if you did it, if the statement you see is true for you and you did it, I want you to pan for gold. So can I see you panning for gold? Yeah. You could do it, yeah. Oh, he's doing maracas. So whatever panning for gold means to you, that's what you're going to do. If you didn't yet, what are we gonna do, Sean? We're gonna dig for gold, okay? You're gonna take your shovel and we're gonna dig for gold. Are you with me? Thumbs up if you're with me. Okay, there's a point system, but you're gonna have some time to tally it up, okay? If you did it, you're gonna get 2 nuggets. If you're panning for gold, you get 2 nuggets. And if you shovel, you get 1. So if you wanna keep a mental note, that's fine. All right, ready for the first one? Let's go to zone 1. Have you pitched yourself or your offer in the last 30 days? If you're gonna do this, or you're gonna shovel, okay? And I can tell if you're lying, all right? Just no shame in the dig either. Okay, I see some digging, okay. Cool. Second one, have you last 30 days? Video content counts. Have you felt uncomfortable in any way and executed anyways? Pan or shovel? Go for it. Go for it. Okay. Let's go to zone 2. Were you a virtual guest speaker on a podcast, panel, or show in the last 30 days? Were you a guest and spoken anywhere? And this can be virtual or online. Shovel or, all right. I love watching. This is great. This is great for me. I don't know about you. Okay, have you been, and not in any 30 days, but just in general, have you ever been an in-person guest speaker? Anywhere? Anywhere. Have you pitched yourself for speaking opportunities in the last month? Pan or shovel, pan or dig? Randy's like, you made me do it. And then you get 3 news stations. Ooh. Did you imagine that? All right, last 3. Let's go to Gold Zone 3, building stages. Have you hosted a webinar or training in the last 30 days? This could be online or in person. I see some maracas, I see some shovels. Okay, last 2. Have you done a weekly conversion event? This got cut off, so this could be like an online webinar, briefing, podcast. You guys are great. Okay, last one. Do you have a podcast, a show, or a place that you speak to people weekly, monthly, a consistent sales ecosystem, whatever this means to you? Pan or shovel? Okay. Love that. You can go ahead and take a seat. Good job, my miners. Round of applause for all of you guys. Okay, I'm gonna give you about 30, 45 seconds. This got cut off quite a bit. I don't know if we can lift this up a little bit, but 1 gold nugget is $100,000, and I want you to go ahead and just mentally note what you got. Weekly live nurture event. So the last one is have a consistent Do what you can with these ones here, okay? And when you're done, I would love to hear some numbers. When you do your gold nugget conversions, what did we get? 14 what? 14 nuggets, and then you multiply that by 100,000. So that would be 1.4 million. When you do the gold nugget conversion, what else did people get? I know, John. So what would that total up to? 2 million. So John Hansman got 2 million. Anyone else want to share? 1.7 million. I want to remind you that there is also no shame in the dig. This had nothing to do with the panners being better. They are just being more consistent with speaking. And that is setting them up for an amazing gold mine. And they also started with the dig. So if anything, be proud of yourself for digging and just use this as a healthy nudge. Okay, this is something that I'm going to be intentional about building, executing from here on out. Now remember that these are not hypothetical numbers. This is more than just a game. Because this is something I told you from doing this type of work and from doubling down on speaking, not only as my form of lead gen, but as a way of life. The second I stopped waiting for permission to take center stage of my life was the day, the second, the moment that everything changed. Can say the same for you. And it's the people that are consistent in the dig. It's the ones that were willing. It's the ones that even when they felt uncomfortable, even when they're like, something doesn't feel like it's hitting quite right. I'm doing the things, but something doesn't feel like it's hitting. You're onto something. Let's talk, okay? Let's talk and see what we can do. Your voice is your gold mine. It is your best lead generation and life skill, just straight up life skill to have to double your MRR to 10, I would say 10x. 10x your MRR, 10x your belief. So knowing this now, what's your plan? What's your plan to hit the mother lode with your voice? Because when you master speaking, you strike gold. It is inevitable. So what actions will you take today, this week? We hit on these 3 pillars in stage mastery. We hit on these 3 pillars, and I encourage all of us in Elite, even the VIPs that are here, think about what are the ways that you're gonna grow your influence? How are you gonna get on other stages? And also build your own, because when you focus on those 3 simultaneously, that's when the momentum builds. If you are just focusing on one right now, great, that's awesome. So let's move into the 2nd pillar, and then let's keep going in the 3rd pillar. There's certain activities that you can do that will hit on all 3. And maybe that's something I can do for my next keynote. But for today, here's what I want you to do. Your fast action, complete one of these by the end of the day. I want you to connect with 1 to 3 people, even reach out to them. And it could be people in this room as well, right? It could be people on the 7-figure team that you wanna be on a stage with, you wanna co-host, maybe you wanna do a live together, maybe you wanna host a networking event, in-person networking event together, or even online. Set that up. Or pick a date in your calendar to host your next event and get it and follow through. Yes, take a picture, please. And you know what, if you hit on all 3 of these, let me know. I'm gonna be like, hell yes, let's freaking go. The 3rd one is you can talk to me. Okay, you can talk to me. If you've got some visions on how you wanna use speaking to grow your MRR and to become just a better salesperson and marketer in general, I've got a ton of experience in this, I'm passionate about it, so talk to me, let's talk. Let's make a plan. I think the woman that taught me that everything is possible. That taught me that you can turn any reality or any dream, even if it's just like gold that you panned when you were 6, that you could turn anything into a reality. Because it's not luck that gets us here. It's all those micro moments in between. The times that you were willing. The times that you even maybe doubted yourself, but you still raised your hand. Because when you master public speaking, you master yourself. And when you master yourself, you master your money. And when you master all 3, you really can have anything you want.